Okay, boys and girls, I guess. Um, Day 5 for workplace. And what we're going to look at today is calculating income from hourly wages. So how many per hour. So the thing that you have to remember that when you're doing uh, hourly wages, there's a bit of a formula. It's hours worked times your hourly wage is equal to your gross income. So the more hours you work, the more wage you're going to be paid. Now, if you're going the other way, if you want to, uh, if you're given your gross income, you can divide it by the hours worked. Get um, your hourly wage. Pardon me. And similarly, if you take your gross income, you can divide it by your hourly wage. Oops, can't spell wage here for a minute. To get your hours worked. Okay, so there's some interesting thing, and you can also get a premium on an hourly wage, which is like an overhead payment. So sometimes extra money can be added to your hourly wage. Okay, and that's to your hourly wage. And that's called a premium. I'll try to spell right here. Oops. Or a shift premium. Well, okay, like overtime and stuff. So for example, if you're making $10 an hour and you get a premium of $2 an hour for working outside and overtime, sorry guys, just looking at my phone there. Got a quick message. Okay, so what we'll do then is we're going to do some examples using this kind of stuff. So we'll do a few examples here. Stuff that we do in the book as well. There's charts and stuff. So let's say that you have, for our first example, okay, let's say that Al makes let's say he makes $11.40 an hour, and for day work, and a premium of an extra, let's say $2.40 an hour. For night work. Okay, and then it says calculate Al's gross income if he worked 32 hours in daylight and let's say 20 hour, well, not, I mean, let's say 15 hours in our at night. So step one, if we take our marker here, first we got to get our marker. There we go. So step one, find his nighttime wage. So we're going to have to add 1140 per hour and 240 per hour. So that's going to give him a higher nighttime wage. So that, if we do that, that's $13.80 an hour for working at night. So then we're going to, in step two, we're going to calculate his total wage. Okay. So we're going to do daytime or his gross income. So in the day, it's 1140 per hour times, well, he works 32 hours. And then we're going to do the night. He gets $13.80, and he worked 15 hours. And that's going to give us, and then we're going to add these two together for his total. Okay, so take your calculator out, you go 32 times 1140. Make sure you're always writing out what you're doing. That's 364.80. And then 1380 times 15. That's 207. So if we add those two together, 364.8 to that other one, 207, he makes a gross 571.80 for that, right, for that particular job. Okay, sometimes they have charts. So we'll do a chart example in example 2. So that's our first example. Just multiplying out each of the wages and then adding them together at the end. So let's do example number 2. Completing a chart. Okay, so if we had hourly wage, hours worked, and the gross income. Okay, so it depends on what they give you. So let's say if we had under here, we'll just fill in with the marker. So let's say in my first one, I'm making $11.10 an hour. And let's say I don't know how many hours I worked, but let's say that my gross income was $200 So how many? So this one's a divide because your gross income divided by your hourly wage will give you your hours worked. So you go 200 divided by 100 or 11.10, and I get 18.01 or 18 hours. So approximately 18 hours. Okay, to get that answer. So that was just 200 divided by 11.10. Okay, if they give you that one blank and they say you work 31 hours and then you grossed $690. Okay, that one's a divide as well. That's 690 divided by 31 hours to give you how many you're making per hour. So that's $22.26 an hour. $22.26. So that would go right here. Okay, and they might even ask you one where they give you the wage. Let's say it's $18.50 an hour. They give you the number of hours, let's say 40, the typical work week. And then you have to get to here, and that's just multiplying 1850 times 40 hours. 1850 an hour times 40. You get $740 gross. So they have a couple of different charts in your examples. Okay, there's a couple of other ones that they will ask you. They'll ask you for a compare question. So let's do an example like that as well. Here, let's just check and see how much time we're doing here. We want to go about 30 minutes. We're about 14. So we'll do a couple more examples here. So this is a compare problem. Okay, so let's say that, let's see here. Find who has the higher gross income. So let's say Jeff works for 26 hours at let's say $21.40 an hour, or Cal, who works 38 hours at $16.90 an hour. Question mark. We should have per hour over here too. Okay, so we're just going to do that question. I'm just going to pause here for a second, check the phone. Okay, so working it through here. We've got 26 hours at $21.40, so we can do Jeff here beside, we'll do it on this side. We'll write Jeff, and then we'll go 26 hours times 21.40 an hour. Take our calculator and multiply those two numbers together. We get 556.40. Okay, and then Cal here works a little longer, 38 hours, but he gets paid only $16.90 an hour. Okay, so go 38 times 16.9, and that's 642 hours and 20 cents. So Cal is making more because he's working, even though he's working for less, he's working lots of hours compared to Jeff. Okay, let's take a look and see if we got another one here. Okay, and of course, when you get raises, you add your raises to it. Okay, let's do an example of let's do one where we throw in some tips and some stuff like that. So we'll do one more here. Let's say that an Uber driver I don't even know how to spell it. We'll say taxi driver. Let's say he only makes, let's say he only makes like $9.90 an hour. I don't even know what minimum wage is right now. I should look it up. Works, let's say 48 hours driving, period. He also makes let's say during that period of time, let's say $85 in tips for that period of time. Find his gross income. Okay, so we're going to have to get his multiply his wage, but we're also going to have to add his tips onto it. So in this case, we're going to do, he's making $9.90 an hour times 48 hours, and that's going to give us a total, plus we're going to add his tips. And that's going to equal his gross. Okay, so let's do this one, 990, 9.9 times 48. That's $475.20. Then we add his tips, and we're going to get his gross. So add $85 in tips. So he gets $560.20 in total gross income, because he had some tips as well. Okay, so sometimes you have to work backwards. Okay, so they might give you working backwards. They might give you a gross or earn gross type question. So let's do one more on that next page. We're only about 20 minutes in. I want to keep this about 30 minutes today. So let's say Stacy works earning $11.20 an hour. Not earning, earning. Okay, $11.20 an hour. Okay. Working a, let's say, 24-hour week. As a bellhop. Okay, person that carries luggage in hotels and stuff like that. She also earns an average of, let's say, $40 in tips during that same time. Work week. Okay. The question is, about how many weeks? Okay, let's go calculate her gross income per week. And B, how many weeks will it take her to earn let's say $2,500. Okay, so we can get our calculators out. We're going to do this problem. Okay, so first we should figure out what she makes per week by finding how much wage she earns plus adding her tips. So we'll do that first. So she's going to make $11.20 per hour times 24 hours. And that's going to give us a number. And we're going to add her tips. And that'll give you what she makes every week. So get our calculator out. Go 1120 times 24. That's equal to $268.8. And we have to add 40 to it. So if we add 40 onto that, you're getting $308.80 per her work week. You know, that's our first question. Calculate her gross per week, $308.80. How many weeks will it take her to earn $25,000? Well, B, we want to take her target $25,000 or $2,500, pardon me. It's a little different. And we want to divide it by what she can make per week. 308.80 per week. And that's going to give us how many weeks? So go 2,500 divided by 308.80 equals. So I get about 8.1 weeks. So we can say just over 8 weeks. Okay, so that's what it's going to take for her to earn that. Okay, so we're sitting at about, we'll do maybe one more. I think I'll break this into 2 days again so that your work period will be the next day. See, we got 1, 2, 3 pages. Or, well, you know what? Yeah, we'll do that. You don't want to go. Actually, you could probably start your work on it. So if you wanted to, you could work on, if you probably have enough time, and we'll just check it. I'll check in with you tomorrow, see how far you get. So you can work on page 11, 12, and 13. Up to 1 to 13. And see how that goes for you. And just let me know at the end of the class if you got it through it or whatever. You still got half an hour to work on it. And if you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, and I'll post this up.